Welcome. This is a tutorial on how to execute equip swap in Majora's Mask. If you are more interested on what you can do with equip swap when it comes to routing and other cool things, check the description for videos from Seedborn. He's got some great explanations and also links to other resources for you. Anyways, without further ado, these are the inputs. You want to start out with your cursor on whatever it is you want to equip swap, what you want to dupe. And let's say we want to equip swap over light arrows. What we're going to do is we're going to scroll the screen to the right and to the left, and you want specifically this frame. This doesn't do too much for you, but I will show you what I look for, or what I would look for if I were buffering it, I guess, with KZ frame pause. And that is, where is it? There it is. Make it visible, please. Arrow. Right down here, you want this black line on the very bottom of the border of the pause menu to be somewhere along here, not in the corner, lower than the corner here, basically. And it's going to be flipped to the other side for the other frame side. That will not help you very much because you do not do this trick with visual cues, but it does help to know what to look for or what to base your timing off of when first starting to learn it. That is the biggest challenge with this trick. But anyways, we scroll the screen right, scroll the screen left, after specifically leaving the cursor on the select item screen on the Zora egg, which is what we want to dupe in most cases. Now we're going to hold up left, and then the C button you want to put it on. Now, just for reference, the control stick down here, you can see on the bottom left the inputs for it. The left side is the left to right, so furthest left is -80, furthest right is +80, and on the right is vertical, furthest down is -80, furthest up is 80, +80. You want the control stick to be have at least like one unit holding up. That's bare minimum. That's fine, that'll work. And then for left, it's something specific, like for left side it'll be negative, I think it's -47 if I recall is the furthest input. So that leaves us at right there. So when it comes down to it, it's slightly up of up left is basically what it goes down to. That's our topmost range, and then our lowest range is just immediately up of left on the cardinal direction. Okay, we'll just put it over Y. That just so happened to have it Ocarina equipped. Now it is Zora egg, but Zora egg is equipped over light arrows. So recap, you want to start out with your cursor over here. We'll put it on C right this time. Screen scroll to the right, and this is specifically for equip swapping over light arrows from the map screen. That's typically how it's going to work. And here's the frame. There you go. So we'll talk about timing next, and then we'll go over the inputs for the other directions. First and foremost, again, this is a timing trick, and it involves 2 frame perfect inputs on the same exact frame. You will not be using a visual cue for this too much, aside from getting your bearings down, I guess you could say. The rest of it comes down to timing it, getting to know it, and doing it over and over again until you get the timing. Now, I'm not going to leave you with just that, of course. You're going to want to diagnose how you're doing, and that comes to where you leave off with the exact results that you get. So let's say I'm too early. What happens if you're way too early on both the inputs? And let's just say that for sake of ease of explanation, that I put up left and the C button I press them both in the same frame. If you're too early, they're going to continue, the cursor is going to stay on R on the right side of the screen. If you're too late, what's going to happen, assuming you're on the same frame, is the cursor will move and you will equip something, but it's going to be light arrows like normal. You need to be on the very first frame, or that you can put it on, which is really a frame early, I guess you could say. I'm just going to start doing Ocarina or whatever is closest. whatever the cursor rolls on. And you have to do it just right. The more you do this, the better you're going to be at it. So you want to take some time, a solid hour, the very least probably, to practice this trick. It is a mundane trick, but there is no other way to get good at this trick. It does all come down to timing and then execution on making sure that your up left and your C button item are both inputted on the same and the correct frame. And from there, again, it just comes down to doing it over and over and over until you can get it somewhat consistently. And when you're practicing, it doesn't have to be a Zora egg. You can cut out your cursor movements going down left to just something like magic beans or something. The only important part is that you have to make sure that the right side is clear. Specifically, you don't have a bottle down here, basically, is what it comes down to. And just doing this will get you into the muscle memory of doing what you have to do when you fail, when it comes down to it. C right, R, L, up and up left and name, but unfortunately I haven't practiced this in a very long time, so I'm very rusty. There we go, finally. So a lot of those times I was late and I had to adjust by being a little earlier. That's all this video comes down to, really. Aside from the other iterations, let's say you want to equip swap over Ocarina. Instead you would go to the map screen, or go to the mask screen, and then hit right, or L, target button to go to the mask screen, then R, shield button to go back over to this screen, and you would do upright and the C item button. And let's see, I equipped Ocarina, so I was too late. Gotta be a little earlier. Comes down to frames, and unfortunately for this trick, there are 20 frames a second, so this trick becomes quite the bear to practice. I will mention, if you're trying to do interesting things, some things will not work. For example, trying to dupe an item, or equip swap an item from the item screen onto the mask screen. First of all, I don't even have Decade Mask here, whoops. This does not work, for whatever reason. It has to be either from item screen to item screen, or mask screen to mask screen, as it does work with the mask screen. But you can't interchange between the two. I can't go from screen to mask screen, can't go from mask screen to item screen. In order to do that, you would have to get some item, typically a bottled item, and dupe it over a mask, and then you could equip swap items over, you could just equip swap bottled items onto the Postman's hat, specifically something on the top row. That's something I didn't go over earlier. Or if you had Chimera's mask on the bottom row, anything down here. But in order to use the bottom row, and then you have to use down right or down left, then you have to make sure you don't have any other masks in the way. The same is true over here if, for whatever reason, you decided you were going to dupe over a bottle. That sounds counterintuitive, but if that's your only option, that's your only option. So, hopefully this video helped. The main takeaways is that you have to know how to diagnose your problem. For example, I'm not even hitting the button. Or how to adjust your timing so that you're better on the next attempt, essentially. There is one other thing that seems to help people, and that is, instead of trying to go for up left or up right, go for slightly up of up right or slightly up of up left. But based off of testing control stick earlier, really that might have been placebo effect is what I'm expecting, because it goes, the range is anything from like a unit above left, a unit above right to that topmost range. So take that with a grain of salt, I will say. And try not to fail. You don't want to equip light arrows too many times. Good luck, have fun. This is all we can tell you. Outside from showing you the frames and such, or what they look for. Good luck, have fun.